Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name is Corey, better known as the Seaman, and I want to welcome you to another edition of the Seaman's Cinema Sit Down after a morning of waiting. The wait is finally over, albeit 15 minutes sooner than I thought it was going to be when this trailer didn't drop at 9. You would have assumed it'd be 12 on the East Coast, but somehow, boom, 11:45. Like, it would just be nice if around these, like, big-ass trailers, you just gave us a time so we all knew when to tune in, when to be ready, when to jump. And fortunately, I was working on the trailer that we did get at 9 that came from Marvel, the Ironheart teaser trailer. You want to see that? You can check out my reactions right up there. But now we turn our attention to a different world of superhero stuff. If you can't tell what we're getting ready to talk about, well then why don't you just pull up a chair, take a seat. We are getting ready to take a look finally at the official trailer for Superman, and I'm stoked for this movie. I mean, people that watch me, you know, Batman is my guy. I mean, just look at this, right? That just tells you all you need to know what I got going on with the bat. He's also up here. Like, I'm a big Batman guy, and my mom was ripping on me for this the other day because she's like, "You've become this like Superman person, and like Superman is mine." And I'm like, "Well, one, Superman belongs to like lots of people, but two, yes, Batman is my favorite, but I've always dug Supes, and I mean, I grew up, me and her got into comic book stuff, watching Smallville together. We had certainly both enjoyed all the Henry Cavill stuff. Henry Cavill is my mom's Superman. She is very much in that camp, loves everything that he did with it, as do I. Hate that he lost the opportunity to get like just a sequel, like a real sequel to Superman, and that version. But as I've stated many times, that version, albeit enjoyable for certain reasons, isn't how I think of Superman when I think about Superman. And I have full trust in James Gunn coming off of Guardians and just his general film catalog. And I've been very excited to see his take on Superman. I love the idea of going down the all-star Superman route, adding in more sci-fi elements, things of that nature that we've seen in the teasers. And I have personally enjoyed both the teaser trailer and the sneak preview. While I didn't love that the sneak preview was supposed to be 5 minutes and like a good 90 seconds of that were just the teaser trailer, but nevertheless, the marketing around this movie has not been the best yet. I think, firmly say that. Like, I haven't loved how DC and Warner Brothers are gearing us up for Superman. But when we have been given stuff, I've really dug what we're getting. I'm excited for Corenswet. I'm excited for Brosnahan and Hoult and everybody else that's going to show up in this movie. But to this point, even with all the additional characters that are in play, it's got the Superman vibes I'm looking for, and I'm just personally excited to see what it is this story is going to be about, right? Like, we can see Supes and other heroes fighting some ridiculous kaiju type monsters. We've seen Lex brooding in the background. We've seen a little bit of the love going on with Superman and Lois, and the fact that, like, I think she knows that he is Clark Kent and Superman, one and the same. But we have really no idea about what this story is going to be. What is the focus? What are the beats that are going to exist in the actual story itself? And that's what the official trailer is for. I feel like I've been waiting all day for this, so I don't want to waste any more time. Let's get the trailer up for you. I've got it in front of me, and let's take a look at what we are getting with the official trailer for Superman. Lot riding on this movie, DC Studios.
Are you being serious right now?
Yeah,
I'm so
You'd let me
excited to see
interview you
them
as Superman.
sure.
in love.
Ready?
Let's do it, Cronkite.
I
Superman.
like that it doesn't have the glasses on.
Miss Lane.
Is that even a little bit of a
Recently,
voice
you've come under
switch?
a lot of fire for
I
what
know,
some
it's a
might.
lot of
it's
fire,
it's a
but-
lot.
Yeah, what's going on with this?
Today, the Secretary of Defense said he was going to look into your actions.
What did you
That's
do,
funny.
Supes?
My actions? I stopped a war.
Okay.
Not maybe. I did.
In effect, you illegally entered a country.
This is how you're gonna be?
I'm not the one being interviewed, Superman.
I like that she's taking
Did you consult with the president?
it serious.
No.
You seemingly acting as a representative of
I
the
wasn't
United States will
representing
cause
anybody
more
except for me.
problems around
Just
the world.
doing
More.
Superman
Doing
things.
good.
I like that. I like that a lot.
I would question myself in the same situation and consider the consequences.
Oh!
We're going to die.
What was going on in that suit? People were going to die. I love that that's like, yeah, give me the score, baby.
Hey, buddy. Eyes up here.
Ooh, I like that. The little look up tease that we got yesterday. Ooh. Okay, that's why the robots are all busted up. Protect still.
Your actions.
Saving people. That's what he does.
What makes you who you are.
July 11. Oh, Mr. Terrific!
Superman. He's not a man. He's an it. It's somehow become the focal point of the entire world's conversation. I will not accept that.
Yeah, okay.
Your boots. I'll go get them for you.
I need your boots. Okay. I like what we're seeing as far as like where Clark is. I mean, like,
You have a dog?
sure do. Crypto. Good dog. Unless he's jumping on you when you got broken ribs. All right, man. Look, not the most amazing trailer. I'll say that. Like, I think I would argue that the teaser maybe even hit a little bit stronger than this one. But I do like what we're getting here. First, I love that we're getting, like I said, the Superman and Lois relationship is already in full swing, right? Like, she knows that Superman and Clark are the same person. Theoretically, they're living together. I love just jumping into that, right? Like, we know the Lois and Clark story, right? Like, we know how that works. We know her infatuation with Superman. We know that she ends up putting it all together and they're in a relationship. So I love diving right into that. But the other thing that I love is, like, if you're going to give us Lois and she's already attached to Superman, let's not lose the fact that, like, Lois is a hard-hitting journalist and she does the job the way you're supposed to do the job. So when you get into, like, okay, let's have an interview. Like, you can even see, like, Soups is like,
Let me interview you as Superman.
let's interview, right? Like, yeah, come on, I'm ready. But the minute she pushes that record, it's journalist Lois, right? And the questions that she's asking to her boyfriend might seem unfair, but the questions that she is asking to Superman are 100% fair. And it's one of those where it's like, it gives us a little bit of context of kind of similar to how Marvel has played with, like, what does superheroes mean? Is there a jurisdiction? What can they do? And here it is, Superman going into foreign lands, saving people, stopping a war. From Soup's perspective, like, people were going to die. I went and I stopped something so that people didn't die. And it's, well, were you in contact with the president? Is this a declaration of war? Like, are you going outside of your jurisdictions as someone who represents America? And I love that you see Corenswet get kind of ruffled, right? Like, not expecting to get this hard. Like, he's probably thinking, like, it's my girlfriend, puff piece, right? Like, this will be interesting. Like, let's make Superman look great. But no, like, the hard-hitting questions to the point where he's frustrated enough to be like, I wasn't acting on behalf of anybody but myself. Like, I am one person who stops bad things from happening. And then that ties, I think, so perfectly in to what, you have happening when it comes to Lex, right? Where it's like the idea that Superman is saving people or doing things in ways that Lex doesn't approve of, right? This is a foreign entity who, sure, he saves people, but he's just running amok, right? Just doing whatever it is that he's gonna do, and Lex isn't gonna stand by and allow these types of things to happen. And you can see how you connect those dots, right? Where it's like, yeah, Lex is just being Lex, right? Like he sure, he wants people to be safe. He's somebody who, cares about the human existence and wants to do the right things from his perspective. But he's not going to sit by and let this alien take the credit for things or do things that could put the United States or Metropolis in a position that he's not okay with. And having Lois asking those questions and getting into what she's getting into on the interview side, pairing that with the fact that like Lex isn't going to stand around and just let Superman do whatever he wants, it meshes really, really well in a sense where it's like, yes, these characters are exactly the characters that you expect them to be. And that focus of like, again, Superman is already established, so we're not here on the Lex Luthor like, this is an alien, we gotta stop him. Superman at this point has probably proven himself to be a hero, but stepping outside of the United States, doing things unsanctioned and not up to snuff, like it does have some of those Sokovia Accord vibes, where it's like, Lex needs to stand on a platform to be anti-Superman. Well, my anti-Superman is stopping him from creating potential wars with America. I think that makes a lot of sense, and I like how it's teed up in the trailer itself. And then when you get outside of that, like you're just seeing, like he says, like I'm just not representing, right? It's me.
And doing good.
Right? Like I'm just here to do good. I'm here to save people.
I would question myself in the same situation and consider
Now,
the
I'm very intrigued by whatever is going on here. Like what... That's the one thing about this movie that I think is kind of cool, is it does feel like Gunn is throwing a lot of different scenarios for Superman to save people in here. So it could be, a montage at the beginning. It could just be things that are happening in the context of the story, but in the background. Or is this in any way tied to... I mean, I don't think it's tied to Ultraman, because Ultraman's already in his Ultraman suit, assuming that it is Ultraman. But you saw when he put... Clark's face into the ground. Where was that? Was that back here? Like you can tell, like he's clearly got that power where like I'm feeling like this is probably Ultraman, but maybe he is representing a different country, or maybe he is representing, a super soldier for America. I'd be interested to see how he comes into play. But you can definitely tell that whoever this dude is that we are not 100% sure of is Ultraman. Definitely got some super strength, because when you
Superman?
watch, like he really throws soups right into the ground there. But like I was saying, when it comes to, I'm not 100% sure what is here other than they're shooting laser beams like a Kryptonian, which is kind of crazy. But it does, like, I do like the idea that like we're gonna throw a bunch of things at Superman, and all he cares about is making sure people don't die, right? And like, again, seeing that he can take a blow, seeing that he can get hurt, but at the end of the day, it's not about the fact that like, oh, we can hurt this Superman. It's Soups is gonna get up, no matter how beat up he is, no matter what the fight is. You can throw him down, Soups is gonna get up. So again, that is something that I know isn't working for everybody, but is something that to this point I like in this take of the character, where it's like, yeah, man, Soups can feel pain, he can get hurt, but what makes him different is he always gets up. So I like that you're continuing to kind of see that. I love the I know not everybody liked the way his face looked in that camera, but the camera work around him flying that we have seen to this point, I think has been really freaking cool. And just now here. Now this, I'm not sure, that suit is so freaking cool. And again, she's giving me vibes of maybe another extraterrestrial. Like she's almost got like Kryptonian vibes to her look and feel, but you'll notice that this woman is at the right hand of Lex Luthor, which makes me wonder, is this Mercy Graves, and is she enhanced in any way? Or is it someone else that Lex has come across and employed to be kind of like his number two? Again, female at the right hand of Lex makes me think it's probably Mercy. And maybe, over the years, like that's the other thing too, is like we're in an already established universe and world. So maybe Lex already has some Kryptonian technology that he's been playing with. He's got upgrades for his own people. Maybe he is directly responsible for whatever's going on with the guy in the black suit that we assume is Ultraman. That's one of the cool things where it's like, we're not at the origin. So yeah, we could be far enough down the road where like Lex has got advanced tech that he has learned from, galactic space traveling people. But really dope. Like we've been wondering how those robots get messed up. Love the fact that it's Lex breaking in to the Fortress of Solitude. And it's one of these, again, where it's like, I love the idea of an already established world. So like these things that are going to happen, it's not like Lex has got to figure all this stuff out. He's maybe been looking for the Fortress of Solitude, has finally found it. It's kind of cool. Also, you'd have to imagine this is after what we got in the sneak peek look, right, where we saw the automatons helping heal, Clark and Superman. Here, obviously, they're getting more than one is gonna get messed up by Lex. But just the vibes, like anytime we've seen Lex in the trailers, I just love that we've gotten so little of Nicholas Hoult, right? Like every time I see him, I'm just like Lex Luthor vibes, like that jacket, the glasses, like just the way he's walking, you can tell he's embodying the character correctly. But I like that we're not 100% sure what his motivation is or where he comes in plot-wise. Like I said, I think we formulated where he probably is coming from, but I don't mind that the trailer isn't distinctly saying, hey, this is what Lex's role is going to be, other than just being Superman's antagonist. And I'm excited to see how all of those other things come into play.
Choices.
But like just all of the shots of the potential action. We have so many potential action moments throughout the course of all of the trailers that we've gotten to this point. But like, it looks like it's got like, that's the other thing too that I like is kind of a bit of a secret, is like, what is the deal with all these other superheroes? Like, are they popping up for specific reasons? Is it just like we're in universe, so these heroes exist? We don't 100% know yet, and I'm totally okay with that. But again, I love...
He's an it. Somehow become the focal point of the entire world's conversation.
It's not about it.
I will not accept that.
Like, everything Nicholas Hoult is doing, like, the tone of voice is a little different for me. I like to think, I grew up with the Superman cartoon, so, like, Lex usually has a more thunderous, deep kind of tone to it, but we're not seeing him while out. He's just talking, right? And I think he's capturing, what's important to the Lex performance anytime we see him. The other thing that I think is interesting here is we've been trying to figure out, like, what is this glass window that he's breaking out of? Well, there's Metamorpho, and this would appear to be some kind of prison, it looks like. And whether that is, whether Lex is behind that or somebody else, maybe this has something to do with what all the other superheroes are doing in the movie. Like, is it about Superman just doing right? And, I'm going to save people no matter where I am. There are no borders for Superman. And his feelings about superheroes. Like, there's a lot of really interesting potential things in here for a movie that's going to kick off a cinematic universe. But I think everything that we are seeing, y'all can say what you want. Like, just looking at that shot, like the trunks look good. That's just me. I think the trunks look great. I'm very here for Superman in the trunks. And again, we've talked about the design of the costume, but everything that's going into the suit, I just feel like is coming from a place of love when it comes to Superman. And it's representing what I think Superman should look like and feel like. I mean, there's just like you can't even tell who all of the people are. In
Somehow
these
become the
boxes.
focal point of the entire world's conversation.
Will not let that stand.
Accept that.
The baseball stadium sequence looks like it's gonna be really cool.
I cleaned your boots. I'll go get them for you.
I cleaned your boots. Ah, Ma Ken. But yeah, like the again, like I think the superhero action looks dope. That was the other thing that I really love is seeing Clark be Clark and just like having fun with like the people that he works with on top of being Superman. That's some really cool stuff, man. Like, is that Lex talking to him? Yeah, I mean, that was a Lex and Clark moment. Look at Metamorpho doing some things. Again, I just like the camera around Soups and what he's doing. Cheering. I don't know, man. I think it looks really good. I understand people who are hesitant. I understand people who don't feel like it's completely jiving and maybe aren't the biggest James Gunn fans. But for me, what I'm seeing here and what is representative feels like Superman, feels like Lex, feels like Lois. And at this point, that's all you can really ask for. And the hope is just that this bigger sci-fi version of Superman, which is very present in that All-Star Superman run in the comics, does it all come together in a way where like everything is cohesive. I think the one outlier, based on what we've seen in the trailers, is the appearance of all these other heroes, and how does that play into the story, and does that mesh with the Superman story, or is that part of like this bigger universe that we're building and getting those foundational pieces laid as we kick off the first film. I think it's something that you could debate, where it's like Marvel just started with a good movie. Let's get a good movie and then we can build on that, and that was the original formula for the MCU, and that worked out pretty well. Now we have ideas of how these universes work and all that, so there's a lot more pressure on Superman to launch things for DC, especially with the struggles that they've been having. And there's part of me that's like, I wish this was just like a Superman movie and you didn't have to deal with like the other things that exist in the world. But at the same time, everything we've seen feels like a Superman movie. So if that stuff is worked in a cohesive way, I think James Gunn's gonna knock this one out of the ballpark. But I like getting some more story beats. I like the new things that we're seeing in the trailer. And ultimately, I'm just very, very excited for Superman. The question is, what about you guys? Where do you land as a Superman fan? I know we've been talking about this every time something drops, but where do you land? I think that's so important. And whether or not this can get all the different types of Superman fans to come together and be like, this is Superman. Do you think you're seeing that type of stuff yet in these trailers? Do you have any questions or concerns that you're still sitting on going, I don't know, man, you haven't quite shown me the thing that makes me go, this is going to be a slam dunk. All of that is fair, but maybe you do think it's going to be a slam dunk, and all the stuff that we're getting is awesome, and having an already lived in universe before we get there is a cool concept. And the idea of Superman just standing for himself and standing for good no matter where in the world it is are those interesting thematical elements to play with. How do you feel about the characters that we are seeing? What else do you think could be going on in this story that we haven't been given yet? Anything you got, good, bad, indifferent, on the official trailer for Superman, put it down below in the comments section. Look forward to talking to you down there. As always, if you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up. And if you're new, you want to come hang out with the C-Man anytime. We're talking movies, TV, trailer reactions. You want to be here when Superman finally arrives this summer to see my thoughts. You just dig the general vibe of the C-Man. Maybe you want to send him a little late birthday gift. Well, easy way to do all those things. Come join C-Maniac Nation by jumping over there, hitting that subscribe button, hit that little bell if you want those alerts. Until next time for the C-Man Cinema Sit Down, I've been the C-Man. I'm signing off. Peace!
C-Maniac Nation, you look nervous. Is it the scars? Would you like to know where I got them? No? Well, then maybe you'd like to see another video with the C-Man. How about up here or over here? And if you really dig the C-Man, well, then show him a little love.